1 minute to the top of the hour East African time, and this is TV47's Afternoons Bulletin, live from our broadcasting center here in Nairobi, Kenya. We have a lot lined up for you on this particular bulletin, but here's what is coming up. Two people have died and a score others injured after two matatus collide at Ngata area along the Nakuru-Nairobi highway.
Asa venye tulifika junction fulani, kuna mtu alikuwa anashukisha. Venye alikuwa anashukisha, akatoka nje ya lane. Akatoka mboko kwa chini. Sasa venye alikuwa anarudi juu, akaingia tukagongwa na gari.
Kenya Revenue Authority officers and police disrupt an illegal distillery at a residential address in Thome Estate, nabbing 4 suspects. Court finds Acting Inspector General Gilbert Masengeli guilty of contempt after failing to obey summons 6 times. Once again, welcome on board. My name is Moigi William. This is TV47 News Now, with the latest across the 47 counties and even beyond the Kenyan borders. Let us start off our broadcast in Nakuru County, where 2 people died and 20 others were injured, majority of them with injuries on their heads and limbs after 2 matatus crashed at the notorious Ngata black spot along the Nakuru-Eldoret highway, that is on Sunday night. Confirming the incident, Nakuru County Police Commander Samuel Ndangi said that one of the matatus involved was being driven carelessly, leading to the tragic accident. Athletics coach Boniface Tiren confirmed that 6 athletes and 2 coaches were among those injured and rushed to Nakuru Level 5 Hospital.
Nakuru hapo, Nakuru town, tukasimama kidogo. Karibu kitu 1 hour, alafu tukaanza safari tena. Kufika mbele tu hapa Nakuru mbele. Nikastukia tu tumepata tu accident, for hata sijui ilitokaje. Tulikuwa 7 kutoka kwa kambi yetu. Na watu 2 mbele na dereva sasa.
Gari yenye pata accident, huyo driver alikuwa na overspeed. Tukitoka tuko Sobea, alikuwa na overspeed. Asa venye tulifika junction fulani, kuna mtu alikuwa anashukisha. Venye alikuwa anashukisha, akatoka nje ya lane. Akatoka mboko kwa chini. Sasa venye alikuwa anarudi juu, akaingia tukagongwa na gari. Na ilikuwa bado tu matatu.
Hawa wanariadha walikuwa wanatoka Nairobi kwa ile mashindano ya Nairobi City Marathon wakielekea nyumbani, na kama vile nimeelezea, ajali hiyo ambayo iliweza kutokea kwa njia ya kwenda kuelekea Eldoret karibu na sehemu ambayo inaitwa Ngata, karibu na Salka. Kwa hivyo tu ningependa kusema ya kwamba kwa sasa hawa wanariadha wako katika ile hali hatari. Actually they are safe as we speak. We are only discharging the last person, Lewis Kipkemboi, which of course now we are in the process of discharging him. But the rest actually, they were brought here and they were treated and they were discharged yesterday, and we hosted them within the city of Nakuru.
Kenya Revenue Authority officers and police have made a major breakthrough by arresting 4 suspects in an illegal liquor plant in a residential house in Thome Estate, producing over 20 assorted brands of liquor. They said that they recovered liquor worth 20 million shillings, including 3 drums that were full of ethanol, bottle caps, KRA stamps, and a vehicle suspected to be used to transport the liquor. The landlady claims to be unaware of what her tenants who rented the place last November was up to. Leading personal care consumer goods manufacturers are venturing into the 3 trillion shillings halal personal care emerging market in a diversification move that sees the growth of a range of niche goods for domestic consumption and exportation. Sekar Ramamothi, the PZ Carson's managing director for Kenya and Ghana, however, says certification authenticating such product still faces shortfalls that comprises the 6 million market. The players now project the space will grow by about 2 million potential customers in the next few years, advocating for additional research and innovation in the sector.
The soaps, lotions and shower gel is about a 12 billion market. The 12 billion market is still growing at 5% or 7%, but it is supposed to be growing at around 20% even to come to the standards of Asia. But we are making effort to grow this market by improving the awareness of the consumer and also penetrating the product into the new range. And that is where we are bringing the new innovation.
The rise of Muslim women as a significant economic opportunity for manufacturers, and a brief overview of the halal industry, especially in Kenya, and policy recommendations for the halal industry. Culture is indeed integral to shaping consumer perceptions and decisions. Halal consumption has become a lifestyle and culture of Muslim communities in various parts of the world.
In other news, National Council for Persons with Disability is appealing to persons with albinism who are not registered with the council to do so in order to benefit from various empowerment programs initiated by the government. Speaking in Kitui during a grassroots outreach program for persons with disabilities, Alex Munyere, the drive head, lamented that the council has not been able to trace the unregistered members despite numerous appeals.
Watu ambao wako na albinism kulingana na census ni watu 9,700 na wale ambao tuko nao katika database yetu ni kama 3,000 hivi. So kuna tofauti ya watu 6,000 ambao hatujui kule wako. Sasa katika harakati ile, manake serikali inataka kuleta mafuta kwa watu ambao ni walengwa wa albinism, tunafikiria kutumia community health promoters ili watusaidie kuchukua information ya wale ambao wamejificha labda huko mashinani. Watu ambao wako na albinism, adui yao namba 1 ni jua. Wengi wametuacha kwa sababu ya saratani ya ngozi. Na wale watakaopatikana, tunawaambia waende hospitali, wafanyiwe disability assessment na pia wasajiliwe ama wajisajili katika program ile ambayo tulianza, serikali ikaanza ya self registration. Wajisajili, wajiandikishe ili tuweze kujua kule wako na ile hali tuwatumie misaada.
All right, and now let us cross over to Nyeri County, where we will be joined, or rather we are joined via phone with Enoch Sikolia, who has been for the better part of the weekend pitched a tent in that particular area, following on this developing story of the hillside in the Russia primary school, rather academy, whereby 21 students, learners perished in an inferno. We now link up with Enoch. What is the latest? We understand some activities are still taking place today. What are some of those activities and what is the latest as of now? Enoch?
Thank you so much. What I can tell you is that the DNA collection of DNA samples has been ongoing, began in the afternoon. So quite a number of parents have had their samples taken. Here are the mortuary. That is the Narumoro Hospital mortuary. What they are looking at is, first of all, getting the DNA samples from the parents, and then they will run against DNA collected from the bodies that were recovered from the scene of the fire. So remember, the whole point is to identify the bodies, and especially the 19 bodies out of the 21 that were recovered from the dormitory that was wrecked by the fire. So we are looking at a scenario where the collection of samples, they are saying, might run for today and tomorrow, and then the DNA analysis will begin. Remember, according to the Kemri regulations, DNA analysis is usually conducted between, let's say, 5 days to 10 days. So we are looking at a scenario where it will be a long wait for the parents to get to understand whether their children were among the dead or those missing. Because we understand that the number of missing, yes, or some people were recovered. We are told that some were recovered as last evening, but we are yet to be told how many there were and if they have been, for example, rejoined with their families, like or their family members, or that something like that. But at the end of it all, we are going to have shortly a press conference, and probably we may get more information about what's next, because DNA sample collection is one. So the timelines, we are likely to be told the timelines of when the parents and the nation will be able to be told about the results of the DNA analysis. As I told you, what I know is that it takes between 5 to 10 for DNA analysis, according to Kemri. But sometimes when you do in private places, sometimes some private organizations take like 3 days. So we are looking at a minimum of 3 days to a maximum of 10 days for the parents to know the identity of the children who were recovered, or the bodies of the children who were recovered from the scene of the fire.
All right, Enoch, before I let you go, talking about the number of learners who have been reported to be missing, maybe an update on that, because we have seen appeals being made to parents to, if by any chance that they have been reunited by their children, to make a report to the administration, or rather the school administration and the authorities. Maybe have you heard of any update? Has the number gone down?
There have been conflicting information about that. That is why when you see most of the people have been reporting about several children missing. Because when we talk about the exact numbers, then we realize that there is conflicting information about the exact number of children who are missing. Remember, the government spokesperson said that there might be around 17, and that is a day after the deputy president said that 70 were missing. We are yet to be told how many have been found, and if, for example, they have gone back to their families. So that is something we need to we are going to ask during the next press conference that is coming up shortly, I think in the next 2 or 3 minutes, to the Narumoro Level 4 Hospital. So it's a number that we are yet to be certain about, and it will dictate just how many missing and what we are looking at, because the number of parents are still here. We can see there are many, and the number of families that are here, quite a number of people are still here. The Kenya Red Cross is still here, and they are still trying to do what you call tracing, but they're yet to give us the exact numbers. So that one I can say is it's a wait and see. After the press conference, probably we will be told the exact number of those who are missing, if they are still missing.
Thank you, Enoch, and thank you for keeping tabs with that. That is Enoch Sikolia, CGTN correspondent, joining us via phone link, keeping tabs on that particular story of the incident that happened in Nyeri County over the weekend. We will be giving you more details in our subsequent bulletin, and also through our website we'll be posting more details, and in our social media, so do keep it TV47. Now, in other news, Bang worth 3.6 million Kenya shillings has been nabbed early today in an operation conducted by police officers at Chavakali area in Vihiga County, while one male suspect aged 28 years is in police custody in connection with illegal drugs. Speaking to the press at Chavakali police station in Sabache sub-county, the Vihiga County Police Commander Peter Katam says that a search is underway to arrest 3 more suspects who escaped while a private Subaru motor vehicle which was transporting the drugs has been impounded. Police reports have also indicated that the 4 were transporting the illegal drugs from Busia to Nakuru County before they were arrested in Vihiga.
Hivi leo asubuhi mwendo wa saa 11 kuelekea saa 12, officers wetu ambao walikuwa patrol katika sehemu hii waliweza kuona gari ambaye walisuspect ya kwamba ilikuwa inabeba madawa za kulevya, na vile vile tulikuwa tumepata information kutoka kwa a good Samaritan ya kwamba hilo gari litaonekana area hii. Ilipofanywa inspection tukakuta ya kwamba walikuwa wamebeba bangi ambaye ni gunia 5, na vile vile walikuwa wamebeba substance ambaye tunashuku inaweza kuwa ni ethanol kwa hiyo gari.
Kenyan and Ugandan health authorities have beefed up mpox surveillance at their common border points as the number of infections in the region increases. Truck drivers are now forced to wait for long hours in the Kenyan county of Busia just to be cleared. CGTN's Nick Mudimba has more.
Long queues of trucks, up to 30 kilometers long. This time round, however, there are no logistical issues. The truck drivers are waiting to be cleared by the medical teams at the Malaba one-stop border point. New measures put in place by health officials to curb the spread of the mpox virus mean crossing the Kenya-Uganda border now takes much longer. And drivers who had only planned for normal crossing say they've been hit hard. Joel Kingori, a seasoned long-distance truck driver, says everything has changed since the first few cases of mpox were reported in Kenya.
We are not even interacting with drivers from the affected countries because of the stigma. We are just talking from a distance and taking precautions. We used to sit and eat together previously, but now we are told by health officials to wash our hands and keep distance from the other drivers who are coming from the affected areas, which is unfortunate because some are our friends.
The Kenyan and Ugandan health ministries have beefed up surveillance at the Busia border point. Not only the truck drivers are subjected to the mandatory checks here at the border, but everyone coming in from Uganda is supposed to be checked properly. So the port health official will ask anyone how they're feeling, if they've experienced any signs and symptoms of mpox. And before that, temperatures are taken, and of course a questionnaire is given for you to answer some questions before you're now allowed to cross to the other side of Kenya. Despite the measures, some local residents say they're witnessing many people from the affected countries moving freely between Kenya and Uganda at the border towns of Malaba and Busia.
Unapata ni kwamba these long distance drivers.
The risk here mostly is that these long-distance drivers interact with a lot of locals within the county, and these locals end up going to their villages, risking the lives of many vulnerable people.
Local members.
Medical teams say they're doing their best to ensure cases of mpox do not spread. They are, however, worried that the continued movement of people to and from Uganda using illegal crossing points could undo all the hard work they've put in to curb the spread of the mpox outbreak.
Unfortunately, you discover that because of the border, some of the contacts are actually across the border on the other side in Uganda and not just in Busia. And in fact, among the 4 scares that we've had, including the one that turned out positive, 2 of them were actually manual workers who had crossed in from Uganda, and they are doing some manual work in Kenya here in one of the villages across. And so when we reached out to them, our surveillance teams reached out to them, samples were taken. Unfortunately, before they could even be put somewhere, some of them had already disappeared and crossed back to Uganda.
Kenya confirmed the 5th case of mpox this week. According to the Health Ministry, 124 samples have so far been submitted to laboratories for testing, with 110 testing negative, while 9 are still being analyzed. Nick Modimba, CGTN, Malaba, Kenya.
Away from that, contrary to the information that the planned strike of universities in the country has been stopped, a section of students in Machakos University held a protest to oppose the government's funding system for university education in the country. As the students held a peaceful protest, they accused the leaders of the students' unions from other universities of betrayal, claiming they were bribed by the government to stop the students from protesting.
The fear is gone.
Demonstrating against this new funding model, and we have found this new funding model is uncouth and locomodan. And to us, we don't want we want only 3 categories. Yeah. We want only band 1, band 2, and band 3. The band 4 and 5 we don't want in this institution. And if it's like that, we will demonstrate and we will fight for our comrades.
Their president, all their leaders were given something small just to corrupt. You know this nation is corrupt. From the government to here on the street, the government is corrupt.
Agreed as universities that Tisatesa will be our day to reject the new funding model. However, we have gotten information that some of the student leaders were being seen behind the tents, which is okay. But for us, Machakos University, we are not selfish. We are here for the people, and we are here to make sure that our comrades are good. And we have always told the government that this new funding model, it is not effective. Why? Because you are giving us a lot of...
From Machakos County, let's head to Nyandarua County, where residents at Kinangop constituency have a situation they have blamed on laxity by security agencies in tackling criminals who have been terrorizing them. Residents claimed that at least 5 people have been killed in the recent past, but efforts to seek justice and ensure the suspects are behind the killings have never been fruitful. Nonetheless, the governor of Nyandarua County, Kiaria Badilisha, has called for immediate transfer of the area security agencies in an effort to restore security.
Nyandarua haitakuwa dumping site ya wale watu wameshindwa na kazi. Hiyo maisha tunapoteza ni maisha ya binadamu, na serikali ambayo inalipa hawa askari, serikali ambayo inalipa hawa wakubwa askari, hiyo serikali si ndio tunalipa tax, si ndio? Kwa hivyo lazima tupewe watu ambao wanataka kufanya kazi. Hata zile ng'ombe imeibiwa hapa Kinangop, watu wamekuwa fukara sababu ya ng'ombe kuibiwa. Watu wanatembea na maisha yao wameshika kwa mkono sababu ya insecurity. Sasa insecurity ikiwa katikati ya town na huko juu na huko nje itakuwa namna gani? Kwa hivyo hiyo mambo tumesema tukiwa hapa ni lazima ikome.
Tumekasirika sana hapa engineer sababu tumepata kifo cha ndugu yetu mwenzetu kijana barubaru ambaye amepatikana huko kwa mtu ameuawa, na kifo chake bado nafikiria kinachunguzwa, lakini ile kitu yenye tungeomba gavana wetu aweze kutumarishia security, atupatie security yenye inafaa sababu ana uwezo, si ati ana uwezo.